Hi guys! So as you can tell by my naked face, today we're going to do a makeup transformation inspired by this fake knife that I got at a Halloween store. You guys asked for a gruesome makeup and we are about to go there with a cut up smile and a chopped off head. Warning, viewer discretion is advised. I have to tell you this because younger audiences should not be watching this. It's gonna get super duper gory and gruesome. The most goriest, horrific, bloody makeup transformation I've ever done on this channel. So now that I have told you, let's start with the makeup transformation. And I'm just cleansing my face with a toner to get any excess oils and makeup off. Even though I came on here barefaced, you never know. Now this face cut can be painted on, but we're going to do something more extravagant with actual products of makeup special effects. Or you can skip it entirely and just go on to the next half part of this gruesome makeup look. Stay tuned. Then I'm going to use the special effects makeup product called Third Degree. If you do not know how to use or cannot find Third Degree, you can use nose and scar wax or gelatin. Or you can do this with just straight up makeup if you're not confident using these extra products. But like I said, I'm just using Third Degree, equal parts of A and B. You mix it together and I'm just getting little bits at first. Doing the top layer of this cut mouth, I am doing something called the Chelsea smile. I think that's what it's called. It's what the Joker has on his face. I put it on with a spatula first and then use a throwaway paintbrush from a craft store so that my edges don't show. And then I'm getting a stipple sponge just to put in some texture so it blends nicely into our natural skin. Now I'm doing the same thing with the bottom half of our mouth, and it looks like I am covering a lot of my work with this mirror because I want to make sure I get this precise and well done. But basically it's just the same thing we did on the top, but with a gap on the bottom lip. You wanted to connect it with your normal bottom lip. I feel like I should have built up more scar tissue on this bottom since my bottom lip is like ginormous. Small amounts of the product because it sets so fast. Once you think your Third Degree product or gelatin or nose and scar wax with some sealer, I hope you did if you're using nose and scar wax, has set, we are going to powder it down. I'm just using translucent powder with a fluffy brush all over this so that it takes away some shine so it looks more like actual skin that's like ripped on your face. Now just getting some red pigment cream paint. This is from the Makeup Forever Flash palette, but this is so expensive. You could just use bed and eye creams or any type of cream makeup. You could probably even use lipstick. I'm actually going to use lipstick later on in this cut tutorial. Now I'm just creating my own blood tone alcohol paint from this alcohol palette. If you don't have alcohol paint, just get some 99% alcohol with a Q-tip and dab it in some of that cream paint of the red that we put in there and have it flow outside of the cut that we did. We want this to have an irritated skin look. That's why I'm getting this texture sponge with the alcohol paint, because alcohol paint is so great. It's not only waterproof, but it mimics the skin so well into like real tones of injuries. Now just getting a burgundy cream product. You can use Bid Nye Bruise Wheels, or I am getting a burgundy lipstick here and putting that in the cracks as well. You want it to have like some flesh tone reds, some more burgundy, darker blood tones. Now that we think the Chelsea smile of that cut in our mouth is irritated enough, we are going to get a black cream paint. You can use black gel liner, black lipstick, whatever you have on hand. You want to do it in the cracks on the inside of that Chelsea smile where we did the Third Degree, where it's building up the thickest. You want to put black marks right there. You can use your fingers to dab it around, but just do not smear and lift the Third Degree product. And now it's time to get to the gruesome gooey bits. We are going to get some fake blood. This is one of my all-time favorite brands of fake blood, but any fake blood will do. With a Q-tip, let it drip and ooze out of the cracks of the mouth. Like little teardrops of fake blood in some areas, like you're a little vampire who just sucks some blood out of your victims. And once you're satisfied with your split cut open mouth, it is time to move on to the other injury that we're going to do, which is a decapitated head. So we're going to get a white eyeliner and start drawing out the hole on your neck. Any of your smaller shape of a weird, like you want to think of the spinal bone that's connecting your neck to your head. Once you're done with that outline, I'm just getting some Hoola bronzer and just hollowing and dirtying certain parts of my neck, collarbone. You know, you want to do some parts of your face and like in your eye sockets to make yourself look, you know, sick and dead, like the skin is shrinking a little bit after it's losing blood from your head. I know it's very graphic and creepy to think about, but girl, I studied. Now moving on to one of my favorite products, which is aqua paints. You can use some cream products as well in this neck region, but I like to use aqua paints just so that it doesn't like drip and like get all in the creases of my neck. Aqua paints or cream paints will be great for this. Then I'm getting some red lightly around that white piece of like the little spinal bone on her neck, around that circle oval that we drew on before. Now using that same burgundy lipstick or whatever cream paint you used before, we are going to trace the line of that cut where our head escaped the rest of our body. I know that's really creepy to think about, but I'm just drawing a line there and around the bits of the white and where our skin is lifting, where it is being chopped off from the rest of our head. And dotting it in certain areas and then using a paintbrush to blend it in with some red cream paint. I know this is really creepy to think about, but what really helped me was looking up reference pictures. I couldn't stomach up looking up real decapitated heads, so what I looked up is the headless man from Harry Potter. Do you know who I'm talking about? I forgot his name at the moment. It escaped my mind. But remember, he was the ghost at Hogwarts who floated around and like lifted his head up and his head had been chopped off in his previous life? Yeah, him. I really studied that picture because I couldn't stomach the real stuff because I'm a baby sometimes, even though I could paint this gruesome detail on my body. But as shown here, we just want to make certain textures that are bloody. You want it to have a texture of like flesh and juiciness. Does that make sense? I know it sounds creepy and really odd. So just layering on the burgundy cream paint with the red cream paint, alternating between that and just a tad bit of black in certain areas to darken in certain spots where the bone of that white around the bloody red tissue, you know, some shadows around there. And then we are revisiting the alcohol palette with the stippling sponge and doing irritated marks because, you know, once the head separates from the body, there's like some irritation from the knife slicing across your throat. Like I said, I apologize for the creepiness, but it gets bloody. I'm hoping with all these irritation marks, the Headless Horseman will be proud. Gosh, I want to watch Sleepy Hollow like right now, the one with Johnny Depp in it. Yes, please. Now, once you think that our neck cut is juicy enough and looks detailed enough, we are going to move on to some black aqua paint. I really recommend the black aqua paint because using this much black cream paint is going to get sticky around your neck. Use a big paintbrush at first if you're doing this and then go in smaller detail around the chunks of flesh lifting from your neck with the black paint. You can stop any part of the line of your neck. Just make sure there's a good couple inches of gap of blackness between the fake flesh lifting where your head used to be and the chin area. The black background really does help with this, but what I would suggest is maybe getting a black jacket if you're going to do this for Halloween with a popped collar, or even like one of those scream mask hoods. Even like just a black hoodie would look great if you could fit the knife through your head if you're going to do a knife later on that's fake through your temples. If you're gonna go to that gruesome of a Halloween party, I do not suggest scaring children with this whatsoever. Children should not watch this, see this, or even think about it. So I'm sorry. Now, once you're happy with the placement of that black paint, we are gonna get some red irritation of the alcohol palette once again. I love doing this step because you just like tap it on your skin and it makes it look bloody and rashy and gross. I could do boils and red irritation all day, every day. I put some different colors under my eyes of like blue tones to make it look like I'm very hollow and sad, that my head is missing from the rest of my body. Now I'm just getting some fake blood. I got some crusty old fake blood and put it on the edges of that cut. And then I got the regular fake blood like we put in our mouth. That's like the drippy, kind of dark blood, not bright blood. And then you could spray some water on it to make it really drip in certain areas. It really even creeps me out just watching it, even though I know it's fake. And then with that Q-tip and the fake blood, I made it go near my eyeballs, but not in your eyeballs, just like bloody tears. And I put some around my ears, like my ears were actually oozing blood, just like my eyes, my ears, just like your mouth. Then I got some bluey purple tones, very lightly, of alcohol paint with a very, very thin paintbrush, and did in some vein marks very lightly, so it looks like the struggle before my head was like sliced off from the rest of my body, just like losing all that blood. Putting some darkness in my eyes and near my lips. Putting more bloody crying tears and blood in my nose. You want to spray it to make it really look oozy. And a little slash mark across my forehead. Now time for a fun part. I am drying my teeth off to do some fake blood there. Make sure that the blood that you put in your mouth is safe to put in your mouth before you do this. Really caking it on there, getting it dingy because I'm afraid of it coming off. But once we are done with that, it's time to reattach the fake knife onto the temples of our forehead that inspired us to make this makeup transformation. And why not stop there? We could totally stop there, but I decided to get some crazy contacts, of course. Some meshed out white ones, so it looks like my eyeballs just rolled into the back of my skull from being so terrified and so shocked of me getting my head chopped off and my face sliced up. This looks like a very gruesome attack. And it all was inspired by this $10 fake knife that looks like it's going through my head. Again, I suggest the young children not watch this. If you got this far, oh my goodness, why'd you do it? Please do not frighten people to death if you do this. Thank you guys so much for watching though. I had so much incredible amounts of fun doing this. You guys said you wanted something gruesome and I went way over the top, I feel like. But Halloween's only once a year, which is very sad and it's one of my favorite times. So why not just go there, over the edge a little bit? If you guys recreate any of my makeups, please tag me on Instagram, show me on Twitter, email, whatever way possible, but just don't show anybody else if it looks too crazy and real. And don't...